There is a dangerous lie you have been told since you were a child. Be a good boy. Be nice. Don't cause trouble. You were taught that being harmless is the same thing as being virtuous. You were taught that if you are nice to the world will be nice to you. This is not a philosophy. This is a suicide pact. Look at your life. You say yes when you want to say no. You apologize for things that aren't your fault. You smile when you are insulted. You suppress your anger until it eats you alive from the inside. And what has this niceness gotten you? Respect? No. Love? No. It has gotten you used. It has gotten you ignored. It has made you a doormat for people who have no problem showing their teeth. Jordan Peterson famously said, "A harmless man is not a good man. A harmless man is not a man. A good man is a dangerous man who has that under voluntary control." The ancient Stoics were not nice. They were not hippies. Marcus Aurelius was a general who led armies into brutal wars. Seneca was a power broker in the deadly court of Nero. They understood a fundamental truth. You cannot be peaceful if you are not capable of great violence. If you are incapable of violence, you are not peaceful. You are harmless. There is a massive difference. Today on Philostrion, we are going to kill the nice guy inside you. We are going to explore the Stoic distinction between kindness and weakness. It is time to stop being a sheep and start being a warrior in a garden. Law number 1, agreeableness is often cowardice. Why do you agree with everyone? Someone states an opinion you hate and you nod. Yeah, totally. Someone suggests a plan you despise and you smile. Sure, sounds good. You think you're being polite. The Stoic knows the truth. You are afraid. You are afraid of conflict. You are afraid of rejection. You are afraid that if you show your true self, you will be abandoned. So you become a mirror. You reflect whatever the other person wants to see. You have no spine. You have no core. You are a ghost. Seneca said, "He who is everywhere is nowhere." If you agree with everyone, you stand for nothing. And if you stand for nothing, nobody trusts you. Think about it. Can you trust a man who never disagrees with you? No, because you know he is lying to keep the peace. Stoicism demands truth, even when the truth is uncomfortable, especially when the truth is uncomfortable. A Stoic would rather be hated for who he is than loved for who he is not. Stop nodding. Stop smiling when you don't mean it. If you disagree, say it, respectfully, calmly, but firmly. I don't see it that way. The moment you stop trying to please everyone is the moment you start to exist. Law number 2, the covert contract. Here is the darkest secret of the nice guy. You are not actually nice. You are manipulative. Your kindness is a transaction. You do favors for people, not because you want to help them, but because you want to buy their approval. You listen to her problems for hours, expecting that she will owe you love. You work overtime without asking, expecting that your boss will owe you a promotion. And when they don't pay up, you get resentful. You get bitter. After everything I did for them. This is what psychologists call a covert contract. You signed a contract in your head that the other person never saw. I will be nice to you. Therefore, you must give me what I want. This is dishonest. This is weak. The Stoic gives freely, or he does not give at all. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "A man, when he has done a good act, does not call out for others to come and see, but he goes on to another act, as a vine goes on to produce again the grapes in season. The vine doesn't ask for a thank you. It just produces grapes because that is what it does. Check your motives. Are you doing this because it is virtuous? Or are you doing this to purchase safety? If you are doing it for a return, stop. You are not being kind. You are doing business. And you are a bad businessman. Law number 3. Keep the sword in the sheath. Being stoic doesn't mean you never get angry or you never fight. It means you have the capacity to destroy, but you choose not to. There is a concept called meekness. In the original biblical translation, meek didn't mean weak. It meant those who have swords and know how to use them, but choose to keep them sheathed. That is power. If a rabbit is peaceful, it is because the rabbit has no choice. It is prey. If a lion is peaceful, it is a choice. It is a king. You must develop your teeth. You must develop your competence. You must develop your ability to say no and mean it. You must be able to defend yourself verbally and physically. Why? Because when you are strong, your kindness becomes valuable. If a weak man is polite to me, I don't care. He has to be polite. If a dangerous man is polite to me, I respect him. He is choosing to treat me well. Go to the gym, learn to speak, learn to negotiate, learn to fight, become a monster, and then learn to control the monster. That is the definition of stoic virtue. A harmless man cannot be virtuous because he cannot protect the virtue when it is threatened. Law number 4, justice over harmony. Nice people value harmony above everything else. They want the boat to stop rocking. So when they see injustice, they stay silent. When they see bullying, they look away. When a friend is destroying their life, they say nothing because they don't want to be judgmental. This is not kindness. This is negligence. The Stoics listed justice as one of the 4 cardinal virtues. Justice requires conflict. Sometimes to be good, you have to be bad to the bad guy. Sometimes to help a friend, you have to hurt their feelings with the truth. If you avoid conflict at the expense of truth, you are an enabler. You are helping evil to thrive because you are too cowardly to confront it. Epictetus said, "If you want to make progress, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." Add to that, be content to be thought mean. If being mean means standing up for what is right, then be mean. If being rude means protecting your boundaries, then be rude. Stop sacrificing your integrity on the altar of politeness. The world has enough polite cowards. It needs more disagreeable truth-tellers. Law number 5, the gatekeeper. Nice people have no gates. Their life is a public park. Anyone can walk in, trample the flowers, leave trash, and walk out. And then the nice guy cries, "Why do people treat me this way?" Because you let them. Because you have no boundaries. A Stoic views his mind and his time as a fortress, the inner citadel. You are the gatekeeper. If someone disrespects you, they are evicted. If someone wastes your time, the gate is closed. This is not cruelty. This is hygiene. When you start setting boundaries, the people who benefited from you having none will get angry. They will say, "You've changed. You're being selfish. You're arrogant." Good. Let them scream outside the gate. Their anger is proof that the boundary was necessary. You cannot respect yourself if you let people walk all over you. And if you don't respect yourself, you cannot expect the world to. Love yourself enough to say no. No is a complete sentence. It does not require an explanation. It does not require an apology. State your boundary. Enforce your boundary. Move on. Law number 6. Break the addiction to approval. Why are you so nice? Because you are addicted to the good boy badge. You want everyone to like you. You want to be the hero in everyone's story. This is a path to madness. You cannot control what others think of you. It is one of the primary indifference in Stoicism. Marcus Aurelius asked, "I have often wondered how it is that every man loves himself more than all the rest of men, but yet sets less value on his own opinion of himself than on the opinion of others." When you base your self-worth on the smiles of others, you become their slave. If they smile, you are happy. If they frown, you are crushed. You have handed the remote control of your emotions to strangers. Take the remote back. Decide on your own code of honor. Did I act with wisdom? Did I act with courage? Did I act with temperance? If the answer is yes, then it does not matter if the whole world boos you. If the answer is no, then it does not matter if the whole world cheers you. Validate yourself. The moment you stop needing their applause is the moment you become dangerous, because you can no longer be manipulated. Law number 7, the legacy of the nice guy. Let's look at the end. Imagine your funeral. Do you want people to say, "He was nice"? Nice is the adjective we use for people who made no impact. For furniture, for lukewarm tea. He was nice means he stayed in his lane. He didn't bother us. Is that your legacy? The absence of friction? Or do you want them to say, "He was strong, he was fair, he stood for something, he was a force of nature"? You have a limited time on this earth. You were not put here to please everyone. You were put here to fulfill your potential. Sometimes fulfilling your potential requires breaking rules. Sometimes it requires offending people. Sometimes it requires being the villain in someone else's distorted story. Accept it. Stop trying to be the background character in your own life. Step into the arena. Take the hits. Give the hits. Be kind, yes, but never, ever be harmless. Ascend.